Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of John and Wendy Explain the World. That is our current title, but we got some news that we're going to be changing the name of the show here. And welcome to our first episode on Twitch, exclusively on Twitch. And I am one of your hosts. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by the Twitch master herself, Wendy Lee. How are you, Wendy?
I'm still recovering from the very random stream that we did last night because we were coming on to test, how if StreamYard was going to work. And if you were there, then you were there. I think you're lucky if you catch the VOD because it's still up for another few hours. John promised 24 hours he'd leave it up. So it's going to stay up for a few. So if you haven't watched the 2.5 hours of madness, I suggest you go and watch a bunch of people. This is the equivalent of the joke of how many people does it take to screw in a light bulb? How many people does it take to figure out the sound alert? For John on Twitch.
We're going to get it. I mean, I'm still figuring this whole thing out with Twitch, but I thought I'd dive in head first with this situation. And, it seems like a lot of fun. I'm going to try it this way, see how it goes, see if we get some interaction from you all who are watching on Twitch, maybe kind of figure out all the things that go on with Twitch. We tried to figure out sound alerts for 2.5 hours last night or 2 hours last night. We can't get sound alerts to work through the Twitch stream here when we're going through StreamYards, but maybe next time we'll try Streamlabs OBS and kind of figure it out from there. But just playing around with things and seeing what can happen. But the show itself, we are going to be changing the show, announcing this on October 1st. The name of the show going forward will be the John and Wendy Show. We're hoping I can get the our graphics guy, the great Tushka, to be able to make some adjustments with some of the art so we can get that up quickly. So for next week, the graphics will correlate to the show that we are doing here. And basically, we're making the change because we want, just because people know me, people know Wendy, and we want people to go, oh, it's John and Wendy. Let's watch the John and Wendy Show. So it'll be more reflective of our personalities, more reflective of what we want to talk about, more reflective of what's going on in our lives. So since it's a daytime talk show, in essence, we're kind of following that blueprint that like Kelly and Rosie and Oprah and all those other people have done in the past, having a very much more of a lifestyle conversation about entertainment, about stuff that's going on in the world as today, and cool new technology or gadgets, all that kind of stuff happening for sure.
So many gadgets.
Exactly. So thank you all so much. And if you subscribe to the channel or follow the channel here, the Outlaw Nation channel, I will not be able to bring up the sound alert, but I will absolutely give you a shout out, or we'll go and share the screen and put your name up there so you get proper credit as we go along.
Absolutely. And we want to thank real quick Colossus FN for subscribing at tier 1. They've subscribed for 2 months. That's amazing. And to Brian, who cheered us 100 bits, thank you so much. Hey, what's up, Wendy? Have you finished Neo, The World Ends With You? I have not, because I switched my guest. So I've been streaming some Nintendo Switch games over on my Twitch channel. And I was so obsessed with The World Ends With You. But then for my birthday, I got Little Nightmares 2. So I was playing that for a stream. But today, actually, after this show, I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to hop back into The World Ends With You for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm off to rewatch Many Saints of Newark after the show because I want to do a spoiler review episode of that movie for the channel, for the YouTube channel. And for those of you who are new to hear us here on Twitch, we each have YouTube channels. Wendy's is right above her head there, the movie couple. Mine is youtube.com/John Rocha Says, but it's the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel, so you can find it there. All right. Well, thanks to Jeremy Miller, and of course, thanks to Brian, as Wendy pointed out, and MK Songbird for joining us. Let's get it going. We got 11 people joining us. We'll see if it builds. How many we get to? We're trying this out. Wendy, where shall we start as we jump into our topics for today?
I mean, I say this one because we added it kind of late last night. We were texting and this news came about. So on the show here, we have talked about what happened with Scarlett Johansson, why she sued Disney. Right. And essentially it was because it's essentially about the release format for Black Widow. So it was released simultaneously in theaters as well as on Disney Plus via Premier Access, which means even as a Disney Plus subscriber, you used to have to pay $25.99, $29.99, something like that, in order to watch it. And the lawsuit was that she didn't get all the money on the back end of it, essentially from the streaming stuff like that. So there was, I feel like it got a little dirty, I guess. Like not like, ooh, who screwed who? Nothing like that, but just like kind of the yelling back and forth because it was public. So it was like she released a statement and then Disney sent back with another statement. I was like, oh no, this shouldn't be putting out for the public. And I felt like I needed to look away. I was like, I know they're going to work it out. I know they're going to work it out. I think she's been in the Disney family for too long for this to disrupt their relationship, but it should be worked out. And, you know, for her, girl, get your money.
Yeah.
You worked, get your money. So it looks like they have settled the lawsuit after all the back and forth. And they both have released a statement. Scarlett Johansson says, I am happy to have resolved our differences with Disney. I am incredibly proud of the work we've done together over the years and have greatly enjoyed my creative relationship with the team. I look forward to continuing our collaboration in years to come. And I think that last sentence is good because it doesn't mean like, okay, she sued. It's like business is business and we can continue working.
Yes.
But we gotta handle the business. And that's like the right way to do it. Like you don't want this one instant to be like, we can't work with, like, would you not want to work with Scarlett Johansson? Hello.
Yeah. Right.
And we also have a quote here from Disney Studio Chairman Alan Bergman, who adds, quote, I am very pleased to have been able to come to a mutual agreement with Scarlett Johansson regarding Black Widow. We appreciate her contribution to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and look forward to working together on a number of upcoming projects, including Disney's Tower of Terror, which she is starring in and producing as well. I don't know if she's directing.
Yeah, I don't know if she's directing either. But I will say this is such an interesting development because remember, they both came out guns blazing, right?
Yeah.
Scarlett's team came out and was like, Disney's screwing us. Disney owes us money. They lied to us and the contract. And it was a smart move because they went after the parent company, not after Marvel. They weren't trying to soil the situation with Marvel. They were going after the parent company for the situation. Disney's attorneys came back and said, there's no merit to this at all. There's no merit to these complaints. Blah, 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 blah. Well, once all the bickering died down, that went on for about a week, the back and forth that was being reported in the press, I think Disney came out hard and they wanted to see how Scarlett would react. And Scarlett didn't back down at all. This is a woman with incredible power in the industry who makes money, has no issue calling people out, and has made tens of millions of dollars in the industry with her work. So she's got cachet. And clearly, Wendy, this is the kind of team you want to have around you if you're an actor, actress, or any kind of creator in this business, because they came out hard, they didn't back down, and Disney eventually relented, and now they've come to this resolution. And this resolution comes after all these people had claimed they were going to file these lawsuits. Well, Disney went out behind the scenes and kind of settled with most of these people, including Emma Stone, about this streaming situation. So Scarlett was the last one they had to settle with. I'm sure she held out for the best piece of the pie that she could and got what she needed and okayed the settlement, because it wouldn't be happening if Scarlett hadn't okayed the settlement. So I think this was a wake-up call for Disney, and you look at what's happening with the Warner Media CEO, Jason Collard. He is like openly saying in interviews for Variety, well, I kind of messed up and I rushed the day and date thing. And I should have talked to the other production companies. I should have talked to the directors and the creators of what have these movies. And I'll probably be out of a job in a year and it kind of sucks. Well, there's the reality. You can make bold moves and everyone applauds your bold moves, but sometimes there are consequences if you don't do the right things in those moments so that you won't have backlash or a blowback on your bold moves. And we're seeing here now, Disney clearly understood that this was a bad PR situation for them and settled relatively quickly with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, and I agree with kind of going back to what you were just saying about the, was it the CEO or the chairman for the Warner Media?
Yes, Jason Collard. Yep.
Yeah, who said like, oh, I feel like I rushed it. Honestly, though, like I don't even blame any studio for having to pivot so quickly, because it's not like there was a pandemic handbook for everyday people
very good point.
Pivot your business. So we were just trying to make decisions as quickly as possible to continue business as usual. Now with movie theaters shut down, what is the next step to do? And we're very lucky to be in an age where streaming platform is very much a thing. It's kind of almost, it's not even a rare thing anymore. But when it first came out, it's like, ooh, streaming. And now it's every studio kind of essentially have their own streaming platform at this point. So, I don't want to say like, oh, you rushed the things. Like, what would you do in that situation? It's a learned process. Humans are not meant to be living in this constant weird thing of the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we're not built for that. Like we're trying to survive as much as we can, do the best we can. But like that's why people are like, you know, cabin fever is a real thing.
Yeah.
And you know, and there's the whole struggle of like, do we go back into the office? Do we not go back to the office? Do you make a vaccine mandated? Do you for specific businesses, you know, based on their own preference? And like everything is, we're still learning.
Yeah.
Everything's changing.
Yeah.
But and things I think will continue to happen like this, maybe on a smaller scale though.
That's a fantastic point. Yeah. I mean, we're not out of the woods in this situation yet, because as we start to go back to some semblance of a new normal, there are still studios who enjoyed the idea of being able to, you know, put their projects onto streaming. It takes a lot of hassle away from marketing, a lot of hassle away from so many putting it out in theaters, all that situation. They can control more of how the project is presented, how the project is put out, how the project is marketed, and recoup more of the expenses for themselves. But you're seeing people push back against that. People, like we're seeing when we talked about the Yahtzee situation, that's happening as well, or IOTC, that's happening as well with the change in streaming. So there's so many X factors here, and Wendy's correct. We're not out of the woods by any measure of this pandemic, and we shall see how that affects the studios and entertainers going forward in terms of getting their money and getting their pay, you know, and how these studios are adapting to these situations as well. So we shall see for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Where shall we head off to next, Wendy?
Let's talk about, and I know we're like a week behind, but let's talk about the TUDUM Netflix event, which I want to kind of kick off this topic by just saying Rocha texted me. It was after the live stream was done. He's like, hey, what's this TUDUM thing?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you missed the 3 hours.
I had no idea it was happening. I had received no information, you know, that this was happening. And listen, this is my fault. It's a weird thing with Netflix, my channel and Netflix. It's just a weird thing. Like I can't seem to find that one person because I've got them in just about every studio, that one person that reaches out to me, communicates with me about what they're doing. So I need to find that person, or else I would have watched this thing. But 3 hours, my God. But yes, please.
It's like, you know, equivalent to, not equivalent, but similar to some of the other studios who have done their own version of like a virtual con, such as a DC fandom, such as the Comic Con at home, such as, I think there was like a one that was called like Justice Con, Snyder Con, something like that.
Yeah, Snyder
That
Con,
was very, very like focused. So it's kind of follows, I would say the format follows the closest to DC fandom. I mean, no way trying to compare the two, but I felt when we saw DC fandom and they were promoting it and like it was the big thing, and it was so well produced and put together and organized, because they gave us the time of what panel would be when. So for content creators, it was great because I wasn't going to be able to stay through the whole thing. So it was nice to be able to pick what I wanted to watch and what I was interested in talk about. And then they had it on VOD for like the next 24 to 48 hours, where they essentially looped the whole thing 3 times. This is DC fandom, not TUDUM. So it was nice to like, oh, I missed this. I'm interested in this. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. So Netflix essentially did something very similar. And TUDUM, people are like, what does the TUDUM thing stands for? Like, I was trying to figure out, I'm like, is it an acronym? What is this? And then I was reading the thing as I was watching Netflix. And you know how when you turn it on and it goes, ba-bum.
Right.
It's the word for the sound. And I was like, oh, okay. That was pretty clever. So, yeah. It's kind of like SVU. Bum, bum.
Oh, yeah. With the Law and Order stuff, yeah.
Exactly. So essentially, it was a 3-hour streaming commercial promo for what is coming up in the very near future for Netflix. Things such as The Sandman, Stranger Things Season 4, Cobra Kai, Cowboy Bebop. There is like the whole anime section. And what I liked it too is that they didn't just focus on like US content. They really kind of gave its due to also a lot of the international stuff, the Indian stuff, the Nigeria stuff, the K stuff, the K content stuff. So I really enjoy being able to see everything. I just wish that they broke down the schedule better, just for my little Virgo heart, because I would have liked 11 to 12 this segment, 12 to 12:15 this segment, instead of like hour 1, hour 2, hour 3. So as content creators, I was like, I don't know what to do. So we just co-stream the entire thing.
Yeah. How did you handle it? Did you wait till they dropped the trailers? Did you kind of comment on it as it was going along? Did you live stream your reaction to the whole thing? What did you do as over there on the movie couple?
So here's the thing for get ready.
Yes. Bring it down.
For get ready, go grab a coffee. Here we go. So for DC fandom, because it was time stamped, they already knew what time was going to be designated. It was so easy. Dustin and I sat down and went through the whole schedule, knew what we would be doing. So we would stream at the same time when we had our camera, and we would record our reaction as well. So I could pump out the reactions as a segment of a video on our channel.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Video later, and I would have time in between panels to edit. I would have 15-20 minutes, which was more than enough time to throw something together real quick for it. And that's what I wish we had from TUDUM. So Dustin and I were talking like a week prior to the event. To the night before, we still didn't have a solid plan because I didn't know which thing was going to be up when and how long it was going to be. Because Dustin said, is it going to be just trailer and clip after another, or is there going to be discussions? I'm like, I don't really know. It's a little vague. I know which topic is coming up next, like which show or movie, but other than that. So our original idea was to co-stream, plus we would then pause the stream, as in we would leave it on, but we would put mute our mics, put our little BRB screen on. We would come off and shoot our reaction for whatever show clip they are showing. I would edit and upload while Dustin goes back to kind of interact with our stream until the next one. And I realized very quickly after just one video, after the Stranger Things, this is not going to work. It's too much. I don't have a production team. It's me and him. And that's it. So I said, you know what? Let's just stream the whole thing. We'll break the stream down to hour 1, hour 2, and hour 3. So we did 3 separate streams of co-streaming. And I just went and downloaded the whole stream from YouTube, and I segmented out 2 segments, which was just the Sandman and the Cowboy Bebop.
Ooh, the Sandman stuff was great.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah. I don't know if you got to catch up on the new content, but what piqued your interest the most?
Well, certainly that Sandman trailer was fantastic, giving you basically the opening panels of the whole story. That's what that entire trailer is just the opening panels of the whole story, and you get a little bit of hints of what is coming next. I enjoyed the Don't Look Up trailer for the most part. Although some of the sarcastic back and forth, I'm like, wait, what kind of movie is this? Because
like dark comedy.
Yeah. I mean, Armageddon is clearly going to happen on the Earth. So why are y'all making jokes? Like, I don't understand so I got to see a little bit more here. And plus, God help me, nerds can sometimes shower and can sometimes do their hair. They don't always have to look disheveled. Okay. This default that all these good looking actors like Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio all of a sudden have to start looking all disheveled and nebbish in order to be nerds is ridiculous. I've seen some good looking nerds. I've seen some nerds who shower and keep their hair well and are in shape, for God's sake. So just that default kind of bothered me a little. I've seen scientists who look, I mean, Fauci's not a bad looking dude for what he is. I mean, come on, so we
got Brad Pitt playing Fauci on SNL.
That's right. And you didn't see him putting on nebbish stuff or anything like that. So I'm just saying, it's just, to me, a little bit, I got a little bit weird about it, but I did like that. The Witcher stuff, which I haven't seen season 1, but watching that trailer, it was really cool. The Valhalla, Vikings Valhalla looked really interesting as well. I haven't seen Bridgerton, but I watched that, minute and 12 second thing. That was cool. But Wendy, for someone who has not seen Cowboy Bebop, that intro was incredible. And immediately, because I know it mirrors the actual animated intro, I was like, this is something I finally need to watch once and for all. So yeah, I maybe, how many seasons are there? 3 seasons? Is that what it is? 2 or 3 seasons?
One
season?
Episodes.
22
episodes. Let me double check. I just started Dustin on episode 1.
All right, because I may do reviews where I break it down like 10 episodes at a time, because it looks pretty awesome. So I'm just going to say right now.
Oh, wait, hold on. Am I wrong?
Are they 30 minutes each? Or are they
one season? They're like 20 some.
Oh my God, perfect.
It's easy watch. One season, 26 episodes.
Oh wow.
Maybe 27.
Okay.
And then there's a movie.
Right, and there's a movie.
Don't watch the movie until
you finish the seasons.
Because that one it's set between like episode 23 and 24, 22 and 23. So somewhere between there. It's kind of like I think.
Okay.
So
all right.
I think so. I don't know. It's been years, man. I watched Cowboy Bebop like back in my college days. So it's been a really long time. So watching it with Dustin, I was like, oh my God, I forgot about all this. Oh man.
Yeah, Brian Brawler is saying it's not even 20 episodes. So I don't know if that's true or not. So okay. So we'll take a look.
Yeah, because I don't remember. On Wikipedia, it says season 1, it lists everything up to 26 episodes.
Gotcha.
I thought there were 21. So
wow.
I obviously don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if it's 20 episodes, I could break that down in 4 separate videos, 5 episodes of a video, and then boom, do the movie as a separate. So I think that might be some Sunday content, some fun Sunday content to throw up on the channel for sure. So
you will love it. It's like, did you like Firefly?
Yeah, I liked Firefly. Yeah.
Similar, but they're bounty hunters.
Okay. All right.
It's similar as it's like a spaghetti western, like a western, but in space. Like they're literal space cowboys. It's
Do I watch the original Japanese audio and English subtitles,
Absolutely.
or do I watch? Okay.
Right. This is the one I will say you can do both, because the way Cowboy Bebop was introduced to me was actually via the movie. My college dorm mate was watching it, and they were watching it with the English dub. And then I was like, these characters are so interesting. And she said, yeah, it's actually a series. Because she didn't like the movie that much, but I was like enthralled. I was like, what is this the first time? So then I dove into watching the series. So I would say both actually works. Obviously, I, as a personal preference, prefer the Japanese subtitle in the original audio. I think it just sounds better, but the English dub's not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
No, I always like to watch the original audio. So I will watch the Japanese audio with the English subtitle for sure. So we'll go from there. What stood out to you? I've blabbered on long enough. What stood out to you?
Let's see. The obviously Cowboy Bebop, because I'm so excited to watch John Cho and his hair in action. But Sandman really surprised me.
Yeah.
I haven't read the graphic novel or the comic books. Dustin's touched on it here and there, but just knowing like the images and watching them bring Dream to life, played by Tom Sturridge. I am guessing I don't remember seeing Tom Sturridge in anything, because when he spoke, I think that my soul left my body. I was like, is this man's voice? Who sounds like this? And just everything that they show, they have Neil Gaiman come in and do a little bit of intro, talk about the production. Charles Dance is in it, obviously, as looking as Charles Dance usually do.
Yeah.
in anything. I can't wait to dive into it. So I think after I'm done with the Eternals, I think I'm gonna have to put on my Kindle the Sandman comics. Smart move. I'm very excited about that. And Cobra Kai season 4.
Oh yes, Cobra Kai.
Very excited.
We didn't get a lot of footage. It was very much the last scene of the last episode of the previous season, but we did get the date, which is December, I think 29th. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And we did get that this is going to be them coming together to fight Martin Cove, and confirmation that it is Thomas Ian Nicholas coming back to play, or Thomas Ian Griffith. Sorry, Thomas Ian Griffith coming back to play the character from Karate Kid Part 3.
What was his name in the film?
What is his name? I always forget, because that was not, in my opinion, not a good movie.
The ponytail dude.
So, yeah, that was not a good movie in my opinion, but I get why they want to weave it back in. What's his name? Terry Silver. That's right. Thomas Ian Griffith.
Yes.
Terry Silver.
So
so they're bringing him back to be a part of this. Got the gray hair, putting it up in the ponytail like he did so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be the younger generation in essence against the older generation, and with the youngest generation being the soldiers on both sides. So fascinating stuff to happen. I love that moment where Daniel LaRusso's wife, she just goes, if you told me a year ago that our lives would depend on who won an All Valley Karate tournament, I would tell you crazy. But I guess this is where we're at.
This poor woman, she's just trying to run a business.
I know.
Her family life.
Listen.
And she's like, what is going on?
I love you, ladies. You guys have to put up with a lot of bullshit from men. Let me just tell you right now, in our childish fantasies. So God love you. God love you for all you straight women who have to put up with your men's bullshit, because this whole thing wouldn't have happened if LaRusso's ego hadn't got bruised by Johnny, and this old stuff between them hadn't. I mean, they both should see Dr. Fieldstone over with Ted Lasso so they can get fixed, for God's sakes. But then we wouldn't have seasons of a show. So
this is true. 5 seasons too. I'm so excited that I'm finally caught up. Yeah, it's incredible. And then the anime stuff looks amazing. There's also Arcane League of Legends, looks fantastic. Cool. The artwork is great, and of course all the K content, all the Korean content, dude. I'm here for it. I that entire block, I was so enthralled. I'm like, I'm watching everything that they just gave me. Just I'll say goodbye to everybody else as I go into my K content hole and watch only that on Netflix.
That's perfect. That is perfect. All right. So yeah, a lot of different things were previewed, and a lot of stuff is coming out from Netflix. So, and you're right, this is in essence their first attempt at a pseudo fandom. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. Some of it looked a little weird, like the announcement of Enola Holmes 2, which Millie Bobby Brown led that conversation with the other actor.
But it was so short.
In that, yeah, it was very short, less than a minute and a half, but it also felt real awkward with the kind of where they placed it. The room was too dark, and I get that Netflix's colors are black and red, but give it a little bit of life, give it a little bit of color.
So yeah.
I mean, she had the white dress on to add a little bit of more color there, but I just felt that it was just a weird interaction. It seemed staged and scripted, and I'm just like, don't do that. Be natural. Be natural, for God's sakes. So just seeing some of that. So there, but for a first attempt, it's pretty incredible. Just real quick before we move on, 25.7 million views across Netflix's 25 Netflix YouTube channels, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, and TUDUM.com, which apparently is a website now. They said that 15 minutes after the show ended. Oh, of course there are. 15 minutes after the show ended, the exclusive clips and trailers shared had already generated 300 million views on social media. So far, the total number of views for all content, they're getting this from Variety, generated by fans watching the event, stands at almost 695 million views for TUDUM, pre-shows, clips, and trailers, with over 3.3 billion impressions across 184 countries. So insane, Wendy. Insane.
Wow. Yeah. And what was smart is they had other sub-channels, Netflix like sub-channels or whatever set up, so they would cue you, like call to action, and say, hey, if you want more, for example, if you enjoy the anime segment or the Indian content, like make sure you go to Netflix India. And they had like full panel discussions and way more, and I was like, man, they're literally taking over. Like that's really, really, really smart for everybody who enjoys all the content that's coming from Netflix.
Yeah, there's Asian content, European content, Spanish content. There's all kinds of content they showed there on that too. So there's something for everybody, it feels like. So pretty incredible stuff by them. All right, let's see, where are we off to next, Wendy?
Let's talk about another streaming platform and another popular show that is coming soon. We're going to go into a galaxy far, far away for the Book of Boba Fett, which got its official premiere date, because for the longest time we weren't sure. We just knew sometime in December. This is actually much later than I thought. And they brought out a new poster as well for it. It's Boba Fett sitting on the Jabba's palace. I guess now you can call it Boba's palace, the throne, looking like the boss that he is. The premiere date is December 29th, and that is going to be premiering on a Wednesday, just like Disney Plus had previously announced that all new shows are going to be premiering on Wednesday. So I don't know if this is going to overlap with Hawkeye a little bit, because Hawkeye comes out around Thanksgiving, and I don't think it's going to be over by the time that Boba Fett starts. So if that is the case, if there's going to be an overlap, RIT all the reactors' sleep schedule. We're not.
Oh my God, no! It's going to be an overlap, because the last episode of Hawkeye is going to come out on the same day that the first episode of Book of Boba Fett comes out.
I'm not sleeping that day. I'm gonna just take off the rest of the week.
So for all you reactors out there, good luck. I love you. Enjoy editing. Enjoy all of that you're doing for both of those episodes. I may be in your camp by December 29th. We shall see.
You should be. You absolutely should be.
I respect that you all are doing your thing for sure. But it's exciting.
My soul is dying.
But it's exciting. If you're not a reactor, it's exciting because it's like October is here now, finally. And then it's November and boom, December. So, I mean, this year has really flown by in a lot of ways. because we're back to getting so much content coming at us all at once. I mean, even this weekend, so much Venom content, Many Saints of Newark. Next week, it's No Time to Die. So there's a lot of stuff happening that people are covering. Plus, TV shows are dropping left and right out of nowhere. So there's so much happening here. So people got to get ready for this stuff. But it's exciting how quickly we're going to be in December, and all this great content is going to start dropping as well. So we shall see. We shall see. And I love that. But one more time, I love that. Look at this. So
look at that. What a boss.
Right? He's sitting like a boss. Like I was watching
so much swag.
What is it? What is the one with Daniel why can't I remember? There Will Be Blood.
Daniel
I was watching There Will Be Blood. Yeah, There Will Be Blood. There's a scene where he just is sitting here listening to the townspeople complain about something, and he's just sitting there, legs wide open like Boba, leaning back in the chair. And then he just gets up and goes, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm tired of listening to you fools. And walks off. And it's like, that's the Boba pose right there. Just chill, leaning even a little bit to the right in the chair and just feeling himself real powerfully. So shout out to that.
As he should.
Yeah,
and Fennec is like off the screen somewhere taking care of business. I do Boba and Fennec together. I literally cannot wait. I don't know if they're going to at all explore and, put a little Easter egg in the script of like her meeting with the Bad Batch, prior. If this is a long shot, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I would scream, I'll leave the room if Cad Bane shows up. I'm just gonna get up and leave.
Oh really?
If he shows up in live action, literally I want to see him and Boba Fett share the same screen.
Yeah.
Two badass bounty hunters.
We've got a donation from Christine that she sent it in about 20 minutes ago. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, guys, the Streamlabs are still open. So yeah, we're on Twitch, but if you want to donate and send stuff, I put the address in one of my messages there, streamlabs.com. Maybe Wiley, who's in here as well, will find a way to be able to add that to the Nightbot so that every kind of 10 minutes that message comes through for people to go to Streamlabs to send in your donations here. Christine says, morning, everyone. Wendy, will you try to get tickets for the BTS LA shows? The new video that came out with Coldplay is incredible. Also, John. Yeah, it is. Also, John, excited to see your review for this week's Ted Lasso. Another great episode. Thanks to you both for the show. Yeah, we recorded our review earlier today, so that will come out on Sunday because I've got to drop the What If review tomorrow for Geek Buddies. So I've got to schedule these out because we were a little behind on Geek Buddies this week. But Wendy, are you going to the BTS LA shows? 4 shows in Inglewood. We're going to talk about it later, but are you going?
I want to. Is it sold out already?
I don't even know.
I'll go by myself if I have to. I don't care.
Maybe you can go as press.
Obviously, I want to. It's on sale now.
Can't you go as press and cover it? I feel like you can go as press and cover it. Come on.
I think if I had a website that got tons of views.
Is that the next step? Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a website? Yeah, because I go to these people. I go to these people on their websites, then I go to their YouTube channels, and their interviews are like way less.
Guess how much the tickets are?
How much are the tickets?
At the most inexpensive, $260.
That's not bad. For a Rams game, it's about $350 to be up in the rafters.
Are you kidding me? People were buying BTS tickets before the pandemic for like $80 at the most. I'm not
What?
Joking.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
That butter
but this
thing
is also a certain day. Let me go to a different day. I mean, do I want to? Absolutely, yes.
All
208.
Right.
I mean, is it worth the money? Yes, because it's BTS.
Right.
They're going to put on a good show. We
got to find out who the publicist is. We got to get you we just got to get you in there.
I mean, if anybody knows, DM me.
Oh, I like this. Is John like Boba and Wendy is Fennec? Yes, 1000%. I like.
Get me
this
the
idea.
Costume.
I like this idea. I really do.
Love it. Maybe for Halloween, huh? Maybe for like a Halloween episode, we'll try to dress similar. I mean, I don't want to wear a mask the whole time, but
I better get on that treadmill. Yeah, absolutely agree. Anyway, all right, let's move on. We've spent way too much time on the Book of Boba Fett.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's very fun. And thank you, Christine, for your question. And once again, please, streamlabs.com/John Rocha. Send it in and let us, or is it John Rocha says? I think it's John Rocha says. Send it in and let us answer your questions here on the show, on the John and Wendy Show. Wendy, we're off to something called Disney World's Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. What is this? Tell the fans.
So do you remember a while ago we talked about the super like immersive experience that is the Star Wars hotel?
Ah, yes.
So that is the Galactic Star, what do I call it?
Yeah.
Starship, Galactic, Star Cruiser. So that, we were talking about how expensive it can be. It can be up to $6,000 for 2 nights for the cheapest package alone. And we were wondering like, hey, would people pay for this? Because that's exponentially more expensive than a 4-day trip at Disneyland. I think.
Right.
Even including lodging, like, because there's sometimes you can, if you go through a travel agency, they can help you out with deals and things like that. So while a trip to Disney World or Disneyland can be expensive, it's over like a course of like few days, not just 2 nights. And you drop in $6,000 for 2 nights, but they are going to start taking reservations starting now in October. So let's see, the launch date, people can start staying at the hotel starting March 1st. 2022 next year, and bookings will start towards the end of this month, October 28th, according to the website. So I am very curious to see if the dates will be sold out very quickly and see how many people, because I know there's some diehard Star Wars fans that will like drop their life saving on this experience, because it's not just like a bubble, like we're just gonna put a hotel up, call it Star Wars, put some Star Wars wrapping all over it, and bam, it's Star Wars. It's not that. It's really a lot more, because it is immersive. And when Disney says immersive, they mean immersive. So, you get costumes, you get jobs, you get to interact with stories. It's kind of less of a hotel stay. Like, you don't just, I'm done with the park, I'm tired, I'm going to go back to my room and sleep. Like, if you're paying $6,000, you're not going to be just sleeping in the hotel. So for people who want a hotel stay like that, I don't think this is for you. You can stay at one of the many other hotels that surrounds Disney World or Disneyland, but this is for fans and families who want to be a part of that universe. They want to do lightsaber training. They want to eat the cool foods of Star Wars. The experience included in the price will take you into the park and let you ride a couple of the rides, including the Rise of the Resistance, the Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, and you get to eat also at the Docking Bay, which is on the park as well. And they'll transport you there and back. So this is going to be interesting. So that is starting very, very soon.
Yeah, and there's a lot, and we covered all the things you can do there. So it'll be very, very interesting, and no surprise that it's ramping up quickly. And no surprise that James Gunn's gone like, hey, Suicide Squad was great. Moving on to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Like, he started, you can see it in his social media. Yes, he's still making occasional posts about Suicide Squad, but he's very much moving forward to Guardians of the Galaxy, and this is going to coincide with that third one coming out. So positive things all around for sure. For them. So yeah, exciting things. My friends are probably already booking this out. Michael Vogel, one of the Geek Buddies, he is a massive Disney fan. So
for that? So
expensive. Michael does. Yeah, he's very fun. Please, Michael is just
Michael,
fun.
bring a friend.
This is why we don't. Exactly. Bring a friend. Yeah, bring both of us for fuck's sake. Anyway, yeah. So we'll see.
And then the other topic too is the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind that is opening exclusively at Epcot in 2022. I don't remember if this is going to be a ride that's being put in other parks, but I know Epcot in Orlando is going to be the first one to get it. And what's really cool is this is like, the way they constructed the ride is really interesting. I'm trying to find the they're calling it a story coaster that will amaze guests as it rotates 360 degrees throughout the attraction. So the focus is always on the action as you are launched through the roller coaster. This has never been done before at any of the Disney parks. Disney is not typically known to be like a thrill rides park. Do they have some now? Yes. I'll say like the Tron bike over in Shanghai is, I can call that a thrill ride. There is, I don't know what they changed it to. It was the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay.
In MGM Studios, which is now called Hollywood Studios in Orlando. And then here in Anaheim on the West Coast, we have the Incredicoaster, which like makes it move. But even then, they're still like, it's not like, you can't compare it to say like Cedar Point or Six Flags. You know what I mean? It's not those type of throw rides, but this is This is pretty huge for Disney, I think. They've
Right.
never done anything like this before.
Yeah, agreed. Curious. Well, I'll be curious to see how it all turns out for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun, and Disney likes challenging themselves in this way, and they know people are willing to pay that money. We always think, well, it's a pandemic or it's a issue or the stock market's down. People seem to always find money for Disney. It's insane, insane how much they love it. So, all right, let's see. We've got let's jump into a trailer review here, right? Wendy, is that our next thing?
Encanto.
Yeah.
This is coming from Walt Disney Studio, from Pixar. Wait, is it Pixar? Or
It's Disney. It's Disney.
It's Disney. Probably one of the most vibrant trailers I've seen in a while. And it follows Mirabel and her family, who all of them are, have a connection to magic, with the exception of Mirabel. And she, in the very first teaser trailer, you kind of see her get kind of a little bit of, shade thrown, like, oh, you don't have any magic. But in this official trailer that we got to see a lot more of the story as to why the house has magic, why they have music, and maybe the reason why Mirabel doesn't have the magic, and the mission the journey she has to go on in order to save the house, because the house, being as magical as it is, started cracking.
Right.
It's a beautiful trailer. I love it. I can't wait. And I'm so happy this is going to be released exclusively in theaters, because I feel like the previous animation, we talked about it on the show before, they went directly to digital, to streaming, and that's fine. So because we're in a pandemic, so everybody, was able to stay home with their little ones and get to watch it. But I feel like animation deserves to be on the big screen. I think it's beautiful. A lot of people work really hard on it. So I'm very happy for this to be a theatrical release. What did you think of the trailer?
Look, I mean, as a son of South American parents, to me, this is so good to see. Very excited to see it. The second trailer came out, and that showed even more of the movie. And the thing that struck me as I was watching the movie, and I said this the other day, was that it was great to see, as a kid who grew up watching basically almost all white characters exist in magic worlds all the time. It's so great to see mythical creatures and magic and moving floors and furniture that can, simulate human characteristics and keep the Latin culture very prevalent at the forefront of this movie. So it's great to see that combination. Also great to see them wearing the traditional, the white blouse with the brightly colored skirt. That's something that is worn in South America by a number of the citizens who live there. And it's great to see them wearing that, and they don't have to change in any kind of superhero outfit or Americanized clothes. It's very much this house, this situation, with a universal story about feeling like a black sheep of the family. And look, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people compare themselves to other people. A lot of people, even within a group of people, can feel kind of left out, depending on the perspective, depending on the relative nature of it all. And so the fact that this young woman is feeling left out because she doesn't have any magic, well, how ironic it is that because she doesn't have any magic, she's the one that can save the house, save the family, save everything. So just because you don't have the gifts that other people have doesn't mean you have any less worth. And I think that's what's a positive message, even from the trailer, before I even see the movie. That's such a positive message to get from the trailer. So it's exciting seeing the animation, the music from Lin-Manuel Miranda, and everything involved in this. So I can't wait to see this movie for sure.
Yeah, the music's gonna be off the wall. We barely got like a tease of it, in this trailer, and I'm okay with that, because I don't want to be spoiled of all the surprises. So I'm happy with this trailer. I'm happy to go in to see the movie without seeing another trailer, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. We've seen enough. I'm down as well. All right, let's jump into our next thing. What's our next thing? And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, Streamlabs are open. Streamlabs.com/John Rocha says. Go and donate there, and we'll read your question or your comment as we go along on the show. Where are we off to next, Wendy?
We're off to hashtag What's Trending.
What's trending?
Or hashtag trending. So first and foremost, we've been following the Free Britney movement for a while. And we all know that she's been under this conservatorship, and like literally a grown ass woman. Like I cannot, like, how did it happen where she got surrounded by so many toxic people in her life? But there's some good news, maybe a light at the end of the tunnel here. Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, is now suspended from her conservatorship. So he's been removed after a ruling on this past Wednesday by an LA judge. So he is going to be replaced temporarily as a conservator of her estate by, so the replacement is public accountant John Zabel, as according to CNN. And I think this is just another step towards like what is next for this conservatorship. I think it took too long.
Yeah.
Because nobody was listening to her like calls for help, and they're saying she's crazy and this and that. I'm like, I think there's been speculations, and I don't know if this is proven or not. There's been speculations where they make her take certain drugs.
Yes.
You know, to either sedate or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. So I think this is a good thing, because for a while he file to be removed or something.
Yeah,
weird
back
like
on
that.
September 7th, he filed to remove himself as conservator in the estate. Yes.
But I think there was a reasoning for it. There was some sort of money involved if he had taken that action. I remember reading that somewhere. I don't remember the specific details now. But like, so even though he did it, and it sounds on the surface like, oh, you know, maybe he's finally realizing like, I need to stop abusing my daughter and her money.
Right.
I think it wasn't still well intended. It was still like, I can get this much money if I do this.
Yeah, self-serving. Yeah,
like
very
how
much
gross.
So. Yeah,
you're not even thinking about your own family members. They're just, you know, thinking about more ways to get money out from her. She's been working her entire life, and I think she just needs to just live as a human at like 40. She's 40 this year.
Yeah. And she said, you know, when this news was announced by the judge and the social media outlets, she said that she was on cloud nine, and then promptly posted some naked pictures of herself on her Instagram with, you know, neatly placed flowers. But this is her freedom, and she's got every right to post whatever the hell she wants on those social media things. The thing is, if someone tells you that you're unstable all the time or crazy or whatever it is all the time, it can be a situation where they're trying to manipulate you into believing this stuff, and they've grown comfortable on depending on your money, right? And I was watching that trailer for the Britney Spears documentary that's out now, I think on Netflix, Britney versus Spears, and you know, you see people interviewed, and one guy says, "I've never met a conservator who has a real job." And so basically they live off the lunacy of the other person, or quote unquote lunacy of the other person's success. And that's what they live off of. So they have to keep this person thinking they're insane so that they can keep controlling them. And so you're seeing that come out. And then the lawyer for Jamie Spears came out and said, you know, having a stranger come in. Well, sometimes a stranger is the best person to come in because they're not attached. Exactly. And they can look at it objectively and decide what is best for all parties involved. And there's apparently a follow-up hearing because it's suspended as conservatorship. It isn't ended yet. So there's a follow-up hearing later on, I think in October or November, where the judge is going to make a definite decision one way or another, whether this conservatorship will continue. So I think the suspension is maybe a way to see how Britney reacts to the suspension of the conservatorship. And if she's, you know, fine, stable, no different than any other social media influencer acting a fool, then I think it's time to just kind of let Jamie go get a real job, or hopefully you've invested that money you've taken off your daughter wisely, and you can just live off that, pal. And that goes for her sister as well, because there's some stuff coming out about her sister and what she was doing behind the scenes that's very unsettling and unsavory. But we see that her mom is coming back in the picture, and she's never had anything negative to say about her mom overall in this whole situation. So she's kind of stepping forward maybe to reestablish this relationship now that Jamie has kind of moved out of the way, because I'm sure Jamie was probably controlling communications between them as well.
100%. Yeah, 100%. He I think there's times they probably didn't we read this in a previous episode of this show where they would take her phone and they would like change or delete the numbers, so she thinks that none of her friends were texting her back, and like that, you don't realize how detrimental that is for you know, especially someone who grew up in the entertainment industry. Like, she's feeling lonely, she just wants to like connect, and she can't. And you're making people think that she also doesn't want to talk to you. Right. That she's a flake or something, and it's not.
And you wonder how she was able to have boyfriends at all with that kind of controlling conservator. Honestly. So we'll see how it all plays out. But free Britney, y'all. And so she's out now. Let's see what happens. Hopefully people don't swoop in and try to take advantage. And do me a favor, stop doing fucking documentaries about Britney Spears without her involvement.
Yes.
Because what you're doing is the same fucking thing you claim these other people are doing. You're using her story for your benefit to pad your pocketbook. And I don't care how many interviews you've done. I don't care how many places you've flown to. I don't care what you've set up. You're still using her. So you may have worked to get this money, but you're still using this person and her situation for your benefit. And so unless you're sending every profit to some charity to help people who are in situations like this, you're making a profit, and that shouldn't be happening off someone else's stuff. So yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. All right. So
Free Britney, y'all.
Free Britney, y'all. Where are we at next?
Let's go into a little bit of the gaming stuff for trendy, because when I saw this, I was like, here we go again. So there was rumors yet again talking about a Nintendo Switch Pro and the leaks, and reportedly, supposedly, and this has now been cleared up, but Nintendo reportedly provided a 4K capable dev kit, but there's been no talks of, there's been rumors about a Nintendo Switch Pro, but there's never been a confirmed announcement from any of the actual people from Nintendo. So there's an update on this on IGN, and it says Nintendo released an additional statement reiterating that Bloomberg's report that developers have access to a 4K development kit for Nintendo Switch is not true. Nintendo also continues to insist that it has no plans for an additional model outside of the Switch OLED, which is one we talked about earlier. It's pretty much very similar to the current model right now, except for the screen is obviously better. But other than that, not many changes in that model, which launches this month in just 7 days, in just a week. Wow. October 8th is when it comes out. So when that model was first announced, people thought, oh my God, the Switch Pro, this is it. Because it looks really, really good. Like the picture they show is like all white. I was like, ooh, I love the aesthetic. But that is not it. It's just a nicer screen. It doesn't have 4K display, which is the part of the rumor that people thought that with the Switch Pro, we're going to get 4K. Right. Not happening. So Bloomberg had initially reported that Nintendo sent the kits to developers with a request to create games that support higher resolution games. But Nintendo straight up came out with a statement that kind of shut that down. So yet again, it's just a rumor. I don't know why people still, like, at this point, I believed it for a little while. I thought maybe we would get a Nintendo Switch Pro. Yeah. At this point, now that they came out with the OLED screen, I was like, I don't think so. I don't think we're getting one at all. I'm fine with my Switch. I only bought this in 2018, so it's not even that old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Do I want the new one? Yes. Do I need it? No.
That's what you got to ask yourself. Do you need it? All right. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know as much knowledge about that as you have, Wendy. So I yield the floor completely to you on this situation. But you say OLED, and my eyes perk up because OLED is the best television out there. It is my favorite television out there.
You have one, don't you?
I have two. And I saw one. I mean, I watch a lot of TV, so it's a fair investment. Like there's a 55-incher here and a 65-incher in the living room.
You have enough wall for that? I don't think I have enough wall for that.
No, it's on the table. So I bought a thing. Yeah, I haven't put it on the wall yet. But nice. I saw a $3,000 77-inch OLED from Sony at Costco today, and I was like,
how much?
$3,000 for 77 inches. So I was like, So I got to book a $3,000 job, Wendy, because I want that 77-incher in the living room.
We'll just sell one of them.
Yeah, I guess. No, I'll put the other one in the bedroom.
You don't need 3 TVs, man.
My girlfriend said, "Don't you put it in the bedroom?"
You don't.
I said we can wake up on Saturday and not have to get out of bed and watch the soccer from England in the bed. It's perfect. Anyway,
did she say yes to that? That sounds like a dream.
She loves Liverpool, so she hasn't said yes to that, but I think I'm slowly wearing her down. So we'll see.
Just ask her at least twice a day. She's be like, okay, shut up. Just do what you want.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Well, let me get the 3,000 first, and then maybe we'll figure that out from there. So if anybody wants to send in,
she's going to be like, why are you spending this money? She's not going to let you put anything that in the bedroom.
That's why I'm trying to do it during one of the weeks when she's in LA. So if anyone wants to send in a $3,000 Streamlab, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Brian says, Brian, keep it down. I have a house, not an apartment. So 2 is not enough, for God's sakes.
2 is enough.
I put one in the backyard in the garage if I could, for God's sakes. All right.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I'm insane. Don't listen to me. I'm fucking insane. Where we have to next? I
put this in for you because
right.
we laughed so much about that one Target release steelbook.
Yes.
For the Karate Kid.
Yeah, so
I decided to put this in.
Wendy put this in. I'll read the story here. The Karate Kid is coming out with a box set. The trilogy is coming out with a box set in 4K. Pretty cool. You're gonna get Karate Kid 1, Karate Kid Part 2, Karate Kid Part 3 in the box set, and each one of these has like deleted scenes. They have documentaries. They have one called Remembering the Karate Kid, which is a reflective look back with Ralph Macchio, William Zabka, and Martin Kove. The Karate Kid Blu-ray disc also includes a pop-up track. It has commentary with the director, with the writers, and with Ralph Macchio and the late great Pat Morita. There's a making of, and there's a what's it called, the Life of Bonsai, and then Karate Kid Part 2 has deleted scenes and also another reflective look back on Karate Kid Part 2 with all 3 of those actors I mentioned earlier. It also has all of those plus extra featurettes, even stuff about the composer. And then Karate Kid Part 3 just has it's featured in high def and English 5.1 because it's a crap film. So there you go, and there's the difference with that. But this is clearly, Wendy, to coincide with the release of the Karate Kid Cobra Kai season 5 coming out later this year. Clearly, they're taking advantage by even putting Karate Kid Part 3. That's the only reason that it's in there.
Oh, because of Terry.
Yes, because Terry Silver.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, but to just rest assured, there's no Cobra Kai focused art on this DVD set.
No.
They are featured because they are important to the story. We do see Martin Kove, we do see Johnny and Terry on the cover, but it's also got other people from the trilogy as well.
Yes, absolutely. There is some art though, but yeah. I wonder if it's the same guy. So
potentially.
I did a deep dive about that guy, and he did interviews about it. And he said it was just completely out of the blue that they reached out to him because of something he had drawn that was related, and they asked him to do that box cover for. So I'm a little more patient with that now because it was just a fun thing that this gentleman did. They're not trying to take away Daniel LaRusso, who is the actual protagonist of the series. All right, just want to put that out there. All right, where are we off to next here? Wendy, got one more thing. This is all you, I think. BTS.
Little K-pop corner. So K-pop stands, ARMY can rejoice because BTS is finally back in concert, but not like virtual digital concert, which a lot of the K-pop groups have been doing because of, COVID restrictions and travel restrictions, and, for better health of obviously the fan base as well as for the artists. But they are back to do their in-person concert in their first stop, 4 nights in Inglewood in the SoFi or the Sophie Stadium. This is completely I lost my mind. I texted my friend Laura and I was like, is this real? And she didn't even text back. I think she was trying to buy tickets already. So yeah, they're coming to LA with an in-person concert, which means we can see them in person again. You can grab your light stick and you can interact with all the other ARMY that are coming and just sing your heart out and get those fan chats, dust off your memory book of all the fan chats because they're coming. So yeah, this is going to be the first time since 2019 that they have done an in-person concert. And in LA, I was so surprised to hear this. I honestly didn't think we would see them in person until 2022, 2023. So, and I know not just BTS, but a lot of K-pop groups, fan base is the reason why groups get so popular. And I know the fans miss seeing their artists in person. And I know it's a two-way street. They really, really miss it. So the 4 nights that they're coming to Inglewood is November 27th to 28th and then December 1st through 2nd. So this is their kind of like mini, like a baby residency, 4 days. Usually it's like 2 nights or something like that, but they're doing 4. And the title for this concert is Permission to Dance on Stage.
Ooh, okay. All right. So that's good to go. 4 nights in Inglewood. Inglewood is always up to no good. So, but this is a good thing for BTS. It's my dad moment. But this is a good thing for BTS. Very positive about it. So that's going to be fun and seeing them come back. And they're everywhere now. It's so incredible how K-pop is everywhere, Wendy. I mean, I go to the theater and there's like 3 commercials are with K-pop people, K-pop artists. So it's just really incredible to see how it's happening. And we're seeing it. The doors, we're becoming more global. Some people hate it. But
you don't have to like it. You don't
have to like it. The rest of us are going to move forward with it. That's the way it works. Progress is the way of the world. And so we're becoming more global. People having more access to all kinds of things. And so we're seeing it happen. I mean, Star Wars Visions is such a confirmation of the Asian influence being accepted more and more in these larger projects. And that's a great thing. So yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely. And then just a quick tidbit for anybody who's interested in going to the concerts. So anybody who purchased tickets to their previous concert that was unfortunately canceled because of COVID, that one was called The Map of the Soul. So they are promised to get early access for tickets for this concert. And then according to Live National Entertainment, the pre-sale for those who bought VIP admission to the previous concert, Map of the Soul, that's going to be October 5th at 3 p.m. PT. So if you have a VIP admission to that, you can you're the first people that can get tickets to the new concert. And then after that, it's another pre-sale for all the other regular Map of the Soul ticket holders. That's going to be the next day, 3 p.m. PT. So October 6th. And then a third pre-sale for the official Army fan club. That's going to be on October 7th, 3 p.m. And then the fourth and final, the general verified fans, that's going to be the pre-sale August 8th, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is the time, and those are the chunks of the dates to remember. And then after that, for the general public, it's the final day, October 9th, 3 p.m. If you're shopping on the general public day, good luck to you. Because I think the Army's going to grab all the goods. People are planning outfits as we speak.
Wow.
People are probably buying a ticket to every single night of the concert, and they're going to wear a different outfit to each night, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yeah, the fan base is crazy in a good way. Yeah,
that's fair. All right. Well, let's head into the last section of our show here, Wendy. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to send in your Streamlabs, now is the time to do so. Streamlabs.com/John Rocha says. So send it now. Thank you to Christine who sent in one earlier today. If you're enjoying what we're doing here, send in some support or send in a question you wanted to ask us as we go into the coming soon and recommendations we have for the week coming up here. Wendy, what do you have coming soon on your side of things? Anything?
One of them is the same as yours. So
okay,
I'll just share this one with you. It's the final Bond movie. Well, not the final Bond movie ever, but the final one with Daniel Craig as James Bond. And that is coming out October 7th. So next week, October 8th, I'm sorry.
October 8th,
That is when it's coming out. And I just, based on the trailers alone, I've already seen the film, and we're going to review it in a second. Just like a quick non-spoiler, very light, just in case you don't want anything spoiled. But I hadn't been this excited for a Bond film, I think, since like Casino Royale and Skyfall. So when I saw the trailers, I was like, I can't wait to watch this. And I was definitely enjoying my time in the theaters as I was watching it. And it's also the longest Bond film.
Yes.
The longest Daniel Craig Bond film.
Yeah.
And I felt it. I felt it at times. Yeah, I felt it at times. I was like, this is feeling a little long. But otherwise, it was entertaining, and I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah. It's coming out October 8th. Y'all better get ready. This is a great goodbye to Daniel Craig as Bond, because it is his final Bond that he's doing. And I thought he was fantastic in the film. A lot of people have been, crowing about Ana de Armas and crowing about other people. That's great and all. And coming in and doing what you do there for a little bit of time on screen is great. But, give a little love to the person who wants to carry the load, the heavy load, which is the entire load of the movie. And so, it's easy to come in and do a fun scene and jump on out. But when everything's on your shoulders, it's harder to carry that. And I think Daniel Craig did a fantastic job in this movie. I think it's the most grounded performance he's delivered in quite some time, the most conflicted, vulnerable, interesting performance he's delivered in quite some time, and it's great to watch. So highly recommend y'all. It's coming up soon next week, and we'll review it quickly in a little bit. The other one is Lamb. Lamb is coming on my end. Lamb is coming out, and this is one we've been waiting to watch for quite some time since that first weird ass trailer. Has this woman had sexual relations with a animal on her farm and birthed this lamb?
Is that confirmed?
sorry, no, I'm the guy. I'm sorry, the guy. Sorry about that. The guy, did he have sexual relations with an animal on his farm? And then did they have a half lamb, half human baby? I don't know. So there's so many questions when you watch the trailer. You have no idea what it's all about. I think this is from A24. Naturally, it would be from A24. And it is set in Iceland, and it's directed by Valdemar Johansson. And Numi Rapace is the star who did all those Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, the original series. She is the star, and a bunch of Swedish actors whose names I will not butcher on this show. But it looks very, very interesting. I'm curious about it. And also Mass is coming out next weekend, which is this film with Jason Isaacs, Martha Plimpton, Ann Dowd, and Reed Briney, and it's the aftermath of a violent tragedy that affects the lives of two couples in different ways. That's coming out next week. This looks excellent. I'm going to get a screener for it very soon so I can do a review for it. But yeah, for Lamb and for Mass, for both. Yeah. So I'm
going to ask for a screening link because I just got an email for the LA screening, but I can't go.
Right.
Because it's at a specific time where I have something else that literally ends at that time. So I can't not get to my house from my house to LA in time. So I'm going to have to write back and be like, hey, is it possible? Possible. We'll see.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Is there anything else you recommend, or shall we jump into our
let's jump into the mini reviews.
Let's do it. Well, where do you want to start?
Let's start with, let's go ahead and start with No Time to Die because we already touched briefly on it. So like I was saying that after seeing the trailer, became very, very interested in this. I love me some good action scenes, and I think they really showed that off in the trailer where they're not holding back on this one. Just some of the stunts seem insane, and I know it's James Bond, so there's always some sort of crazy stunts, crazy gadgets, but I felt like this one was really elevated since the previous couple. And I was curious to see where they were taking this film, and I was very intrigued by the trailer to see what Rami Malek was going to do, because he's playing like the villain in this one. So it did feel at times kind of long. I felt like, especially in the third act, I felt it.
Yeah.
Where I had the itch to like look at my watch, which like I wasn't going to be able to see it because the theater's dark and my watch doesn't do the light up thing. But whenever it did start to feel like it was starting to drag, they would pick it up with a nice action sequence or something else. So they would change the tone, and I like that. And this is very much a Daniel Craig center film, and I feel weird saying that because he is James Bond, so he is essentially the title character. But this is like I think he needs to hibernate for 3 months after he wrapped, because he was in almost every single scene, and he was doing so much in every scene. I was looking at the stunt work, and I was like, man, I don't know if my body could handle doing 5-6 movies, however many. In this way. So props to Daniel Craig. And I'm excited to see him, to see where he goes after. Well, I guess we'll be seeing him in Knives Out after this one.
Yeah, definitely.
What were your thoughts?
I loved it so much. I really enjoyed the heck out of it. I'm going to do a full review on the channel as well, Wendy. And all I can say is this was a film that I was, someone else I think Josh Horowitz from MTV said the same thing, that he was a little worried going into the movie. I was too. I liked Spectre, but I also know that it was on the line like walk that line of like, okay, this could have veered into some bad territory for me. So I was worried that we were going to get possibly another Quantum of Solace that would have kind of been a terrible send-off for Daniel Craig. And we did. We got something that's a little somewhere in between Skyfall, which is my favorite Bond movie ever, and Spectre. That's where No Time to Die lies, and I think it deserves a lot of love and praise. And yes, it is long. The last 45 minutes is the final battle, essentially. So that's what it is. So as soon as you hit that 2-hour mark, just strap in your seatbelt, because you're going to get a whole lot going on there in the film. Do I think that Rami Malek was 100% was used well 100% of the time? No, I do not. And I think there were some issues that could have worked out there. Even though it's a 2-hour 43-minute movie, maybe there are other scenes you could have thrown in. But this is the peril you run into with a Bond movie, where you're trying to introduce multiple characters and to give them all agency. It's not easy to do. But so someone has to get sacrificed, and I feel like Rami a little bit gets sacrificed in the overall telling. But he makes the most of the time on screen that he has. And I really enjoy the chemistry between Daniel Craig and Lea Seydoux. That still works for me so well. Lashana Lynch stands out like crazy. Ben Whishaw, Ray Fiennes, all doing fantastic work. And of course, Anna Darmus, as we mentioned earlier, she steals the scene that she's in 1,000,000%. You can't deny that. And this is also a very fun film. Jeffrey Wright's in this as well. So if you just know him as the Watcher, you're going to get a little bit more with him here. So
he doesn't just watch in this one.
Yeah, he doesn't just watch in this one. Yes,
he intervenes.
Yes, but yeah, it's an excellent. Well, it's a good movie. It's a damn good movie, I would say. Not excellent, but damn good. So that's also my mini review for it as well.
Nice. And also currently certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes at 83%.
Yeah, no surprise. It should be higher than that, 83%. Come on.
I mean, I think reviews are still coming in.
Yeah.
I haven't even put mine on there yet.
I haven't even put mine on there.
Yeah.
All right.
You got to do that. You got to do that.
I know. I got to do it this weekend. All of them this weekend. And then one more Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Dividing the fandom, dividing the geekdom. This film, some people have been very vocal about their not liking this film. Me, a little bit more vocal than others. And some people have been vocal about themselves liking the film. William Bibiani and I had a fun back and forth on Twitter where I had to kind of pull the reins a little bit on Bibbs. And I texted him just behind the scenes. I texted him. I was like, let's stop here because I think we're going to veer into way too much spoiler territory. And he was like, thanks for stopping me. Sometimes I don't know how far I can go in these situations. So I love Bibbs to pieces now. And I really enjoy his analysis of things. And it's fun to hear his take on a polyamorous approach to Carnage, which I had not even thought about, but it's brilliant to I don't agree with him at all, but it's brilliant to consider that as a point of view. But Wendy, what's your mini review of Venom, Let There Be Carnage?
I thought it was fine. I thought I like that it followed the same vibe as the first one. I thought maybe it was going to go a different direction because we do have a different director in Andy Serkis for this film, but he went ahead and was like, let's just keep on the vibe from the first one. And I said, you know what? Why not? If you're going to go in on it, then go in on it. And what I really enjoyed in this one, more than I did in the previous film, was that relationship. It was almost you were watching like an odd couple with Venom and Eddie. And I think they really leaned into that. And I like that because, you see different facets of emotions of the, I can't stand living with you. You think I want to live like this but I'm kind of actually lonely without you.
Right.
Sort of a relationship. So I enjoy seeing the bickering, the back and forth, and kind of the being each other's like support as well. I enjoyed finally seeing Carnage in a live action film.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I saw Venom in the Spider-Man 3, that one with Topher Grace. And I was right. Was that Topher Grace?
Spider-Man 3 is Topher Grace. Yes.
And I was like, wow, we get Venom. Are we going to get Carnage soon? And ever since then, and this was years ago, I thought maybe we would get Carnage, but it needed to be rated R because of how savage he is in all the comic books. Unfortunately, we didn't get a rated R film for this one. I really was hoping that they could up the ante after the success of, Deadpool, of Logan, that we can make it like this. So I felt that was a little piece that was missing because I think they went as scary as they could to make Carnage in a PG-13 setting. But as an adult, I was just like, I felt like I craved a little bit more from that. I also felt that this movie, so in my previous review, I said that it was shorter than the previous one. Apparently it's the same time. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the chat or in the comments if I'm wrong about that. I thought it was shorter than the previous film. It is, right?
It's 90 minutes. Yeah.
That's what I thought. So I felt that it was too edited for, I don't know if they were trying to hit a specific runtime for this film, but I felt that some of the new characters like Shriek and Cletus could have used a little bit more time to build their relationships and their, personal arcs through the film. And we didn't really give them time to do that. So especially in the third act, I can't even spoil this part, but Shriek went ahead and said something in the third act. And I said, where did you get where we went from point A to point Z, and where is the middle? And in my head, I had to create some sort of like backstory and like internal conversation of like, this is why it works. And I explained it to Dustin. He's like, I see where you're going with it, but no.
You should listen. Okay. If you're going to present a flimsy, cheesy 90-minute rapid fire comic book movie. Don't try to say, well, I mean, you have to work out. Why do we have to explain everything to you? No. Okay. No. A massive character change out of nowhere that makes no sense at all, considering the behavior of that character throughout majority of the movie that the character was in, or the majority of the scenes the character was in, makes no sense. And so this idea that people are falling all over themselves, trying to tell you how this is a fun movie, like, how can you ignore that? Also, I think in a post Me Too, post Black Lives Matter world, I didn't think they addressed a certain character correctly. And I don't think they spent enough time fleshing out that character's backstory. Then I felt that was a bit offensive, to be honest with you. So when I'm seeing all these white critics tell me how great this film is, I'm like, y'all didn't pay attention to what was going on here, do you? And it's not, I'm not trying to blame them. I'm just trying to say, like, perspective is important. Open your eyes a little bit more, just something to think about. Yeah.
Also, what a great weekend for Naomi Harris, who was in literally both Bond.
I know. And it's and it sounds like she's going to be fine, Wendy, because Venom opened with big numbers on Thursday night.
Oh yeah. I knew people were going to turn out for this. And also, please don't put spoilers in the chat about this next section I'm about to say. But if you don't already make a habit of staying through the end credit for most movies, this is definitely one, like, you don't walk out when the credits start rolling. You want to be seated for this one and just keep your eyes and ears open, because wow, this is probably one of the, I think, I'm trying to remember like some of the big reactions we've gotten from previous movies that had, a very impactful and huge reveal in a post-credit scene. This one might top them all.
Yeah.
This one might top them all. I almost stood up in the theater. I literally forgot I was in the movie theater. Nobody was behind me. I sat in the last row, but I was just like, but what? So based on that end credit scene is worth the price of admission alone. Probably, yeah. And you might want to, if you haven't seen it, like, turn off certain keywords on your Twitter or social media and go see it ASAP if you feel safe to do so. Otherwise, it's going to be spoiled for you unless it has already. Yeah, very, very true. Yeah. It's a mid post credit scene, so you don't have to stay all the way to the end credits, but there is a mid credit post scene that you got to see. It will it will blow your mind. It will absolutely blow your mind, and you'll be like, what? So there you go. All right. Well, that's it for this first episode of the newly titled John and Wendy Show on Twitch. Thanks to everybody who joined us. Thanks to all the people who are joining us in here live. And if you watch later, thanks very much for watching it later. Subscribe and follow the Outlaw Nation on Twitch. We are going to be consistently doing this show on Twitch. There'll be more stuff, more live shows coming to Twitch from the Outlaw Nation as well. So be aware of that. So you want to subscribe as we go along. Now, Wendy, thanks again for another fun show. Where can they find you and everything going on? You can find me on YouTube over at the Movie Couple channel. We do movie reviews, trailer reactions, story reaction, and so much more on the show. I am also streaming on Twitch. It's just twitch.tv/Wendy Lee Zaney, like all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff. I'll probably be streaming The World Ends With You, Neil, The World Ends With You, in just a little bit after I take out the little bean. So I think it's going to be a fun time on Twitch. Yeah. I think you and I might have to work and figure out some of the behind the scenes stuff. Maybe OBS is maybe the better way to go, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see, because I do kind of miss having that interaction and having various things pop up a little bit. Oh, yeah, just a little bit, but it's fine. It's our first day on Twitch. So just, thanks to everybody for tuning in and subscribing, and we will see you next week. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Wait, where can they find you and your stuff? Oh, you can find me at the Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you stumbled upon this Twitch channel, you know where my Twitch channel is. So subscribe and follow down below. And also my podcast, The Geek Buddies, The Top 10, The Cinephiles, all out there on the podcast feeds for you to listen to and enjoy. And that's it. I think that's basically it. So there you go. So, and if you want to go to my YouTube channel, just type in The Outlaw Nation and John Rocha. It'll pop up. Subscribe to me there. We just crossed 18,200, marching to that 19,000 mark. So head on over there if you haven't subscribed yet and join us there on the Outlaw Nation. All right, that's it. Thank you to Fate of the Baptist for subscribing with Prime. That's right. If you want to link your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account, you can just subscribe with that. And it's there you go. Thank you very much. And thanks to Wiley for sending all the stuff that he sent and for the bits. Thank you very much, Wiley. You're the best. And we'll talk to you all next week for another brand new episode
of the John and Wendy Show here from the Outlaw Nation. Peace.
Bye.